And begin. Go.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to my back porch in Georgia. I'm very glad to be able to be here tonight to teach you guys and not have to wait till August to see all of you. And I want to welcome my friends from West Virginia and my friends from here in Georgia. And I know I have some people from Florida that were supposed to tune in. If you're here, welcome. I'm glad to have you here. Tonight's practice is a practice for everybody. Not for everybody, but for everybody. So I think that it'll be doable for most everyone. But you know your limits, so I want you to honor them. If there's something you can't do, please feel free to come down and to seated or just wait for us to come back. And if you have props, that's good. If you don't have props, I don't think it's going to matter tonight. If you have a block would be good, but not necessarily needed. I always tell the people that are doing from home, if you have a dictionary, that works usually too, pretty thick dictionary. So tonight we're going to do a practice that will have a whole lot of mudras in it, hand mudras. Now you probably hear teachers calling Anjali Mudra, Jana Mudra, and different things like that. And they're hand gestures. Hand mudras are hand gestures. And we use them in yoga and meditation in order to channel the flow of the energy through the body for specific reasons. And as we have these mudras, as we use these mudras in our practice tonight, I'll give you just a brief description of what these mudras mean while we're doing the posture so that you'll kind of understand what we're saying and it's not a foreign word. If you have a blanket, now that is a good thing to have because you can have that little ledge and you can put your sits bones down on that little ledge and come on down into easy sit. Just get your sits bones on the edge of that so that your hips will drop down and your knees will open out and you'll have a nice comfortable feeling in this easy sit position with a nice long spine to start. So before we even start, I want to just take a moment to bring ourselves into this space. So hands on the knees, palms down. I want you to close your eyes for just a moment and feel your body. You'll probably hear some noises as we go through this practice. You'll hear the birds, you might hear people, you may hear dogs barking. Let that all become part of your practice tonight. So I want you to do a brief overview of how you're feeling in your body tonight. Drop out of the doing part of your day, drop into being present and being aware, and as much as possible, staying with the sensation, staying with the practice, staying with the flow. Make sure your shoulders are soft and your face is nice and soft. Your jaw is loose, that you have no clenching in your jaw, that your cheeks are soft, your forehead is unwrinkled. And just begin to key in on your breath. Feel the breath coming in. Feel the breath leaving the body. And we're going to come into a pranayama practice called sama pranayama, which is an equal inhale and an equal exhale. Same. So take a nice deep breath in. Maybe you'll breathe into a count of 4 or a count of 6. And then breathe out to the same count, inhaling and exhaling. And then our first mudra is Anjali Mudra. So bring your prayer hands to heart center. Thumbs touching your heart. Anjali Mudra. Anjali Mudra honors the spirit within. You are a body, but the body only houses who you truly are, your spirit. Keep breathing in and breathing out. And with each inhale, take in a sense of calm. And with each exhale, release any stressors, any worries. And just let it all go. Let it all go. Send it down the river, flowing down. No need to catch on to it right now. It will swing back around, but don't worry about it. Breathe in and breathe out. And just be here now. It's so fortunate that we can all practice together in this new mode, this new way that we're all learning. There's a silver lining to every cloud. And then open your eyes slowly. And we're going to do some twisting. And with this twisting, we're going to do another hand mudra. As you look at me on the screen, I'm going to be mirroring you. So just follow me or follow the directions, because I'll be going in the direction you're going. So at the very beginning here, we're going to take our left hand, and our left hand is going to face the outside of us, away from us. Left hand, I'm telling you I'm going to mirror, and I didn't. Left hand down, left thumb down. Right hand is turned toward the body, right thumb up. We're going to hook our fingers, keep our elbows at shoulder length, and then just wrap our thumbs around our fingers. This is going to be an inhale and an exhale and a twist. So we will inhale to the left and exhale to the right. Inhale left, exhale right. Slow movement, inhale left and exhale right. Inhale and exhale. Keep this going. Ganesha Mudra, the hand mudra that your fingers are in right now, brings awareness, is meant to bring awareness of perceived obstacles in our lives. This mudra, when done in yoga and meditation, helps to open up the channels of energy so that we can see these obstacles more clearly, so that we can see how we react to these obstacles in our lives. And when we combine this movement and mudra with our breath, it brings us hopefully to the understanding that we control how we react and respond to these obstacles, and that perhaps these obstacles are really opportunities in disguise. Exhale right. One more time. Inhale left. Exhale right. And then come to center and bring your hands to your knees. Close your eyes. And sense the energy moving in your arms and in your fingers. Big breath in, big breath out. Sama, pranayama. And then open your eyes. Make a fist with your left hand, a soft fist. And then just begin to tap lightly at this little V notch at the collarbone and above the sternum. Tapping here, bringing some energy flow up into the area of your thymus. This is your thymus gland in the center of your chest that produces T cells that boost your immunity. Just tap and breathe and feel. Keep tapping. Keep breathing. And then bring your hand back to your knee. And again, be the observer of the energy in your body. And then we're going to roll over onto our hands and knees. Come into tabletop position. Move your blankets. Move anything out of your way. And we're going to be doing a few cats and cows. Now remember that cats and cows are instigated from the tailbone. So we want to use the tailbone as our rudder. Flatten out your toenails. Press into your hands to avoid shrinking down into the shoulder girdle. Pull the belly button and the spine towards each other. Take a nice big inhale as you lift the tailbone. Stretch the front of the body. And exhale, tip the tailbone and drop the head, rounding the back. Remember, the head is last. Inhale into cat. And exhale into cow. And then let the breath be your guide here. Move on the tempo of the breath, your own tempo. Inhaling and exhaling. Cat on the exhale, cow on the inhale. And feel all of the tension being released from the body as we manipulate the spine. Keep moving. Keep breathing. And on your next inhale, come into your cow pose, separate your knees, and drop back into an active child pose, bringing your hands forward, bringing your forehead to the mat. You stay there because I don't want to put my head down. You might not hear me. But I want you to imagine that you're trying to pull the mat toward you. And I want you to feel that tractioning sensation in the arms and spine. Breathe into both sides of the back ribs. And if you're here on your forehead, roll your head side to side, massaging across your third eye, your Ajna chakra, your chakra of intuition, of foresight, of wisdom. And draw the energies upward into that space. One more big stretch with the arms. Spread those fingers really wide. Inhale up to tabletop. Turn your toes under. And exhale, let's come into downward facing dog. Hold your downward facing dog. Press the floor away from you. Press your mat away from you. And then begin to sway your hips side to side. Moving slowly. Letting go of any stiffness, tightness in and around the hip joints. Let your head shake yes. Let your head shake no. And then begin to drop a heel and bend the opposite knee. Walking your dog very slowly to release tightness in the gastrocnemius, the calf muscles. Breathe. And then on the exhale, let's come into a high plank pose. Work yourself down into the high plank pose. Press into your hands. Roll your heels over the balls of your feet. Pull your kneecaps up. Make sure the crown of your head is reaching forward. Find your breath. Activate that energy in the body. And then let's come back into downward facing dog. Press your chest towards your thighs. And then come to a still point here. Come to a still point. Allowing the movement of blood to come down the spine, movement of blood into the head. And then walk your hands back to meet your feet. And come into Uttanasana, forward fold. Keep soft knees here, very soft knees. This is your first forward fold. Let those hamstrings adapt to the practice. Let your head shake no and yes. Take a couple of deep fallout breaths. So it's an inhale and a. Let your arms dangle from the shoulders like a rag doll. And then on the inhale, let's come to a half lift, flat back. Slide your hands up to your shins. Press your sits bones out behind you. Press the crown of your head forward. Draw your shoulder blades down your back body as if you're tucking them into your hip pockets. Exhale, fold forward. And then inhale, sweep those arms up. And take the Anjali Mudra hands and bring them to heart center. And take a moment here to meditate, set an intention for our practice. Perhaps all of us together across the miles, sending out health and wellness for our world. Drop the hands down by your sides and roll those shoulders several times. Backwards and then forward. Breathing. And then inhale those arms up and overhead. We're going to come into Temple Mudra. Temple Mudra is clasped hands with the index fingers pointed up. Temple Mudra opens up the energy channels for expansion and knowledge, Press down into your feet. Drop your shoulders down. Pull your belly button in towards your spine. Take a nice big inhale. And on the exhale, let's bend to the right. Bend to the right. And then turn your heart space to shine on the sky. And breathe in and out. Take those breaths. Breathing into those left side ribs. Inhale to center. Exhale, let's stretch to the left. Again, turning that heart space to shine on the sky. And inhale to center. Slowly allow those arms to come out and pay close attention and be observant of the energy moving through the arms and fingertips. Again, a big breath in. And the exhale, send out all of the energy to your intention. And then let's inhale all the way up. Bring prayer hands to heart center and forward fold. Walk your hands all the way to the front of your mat. And come back into a downward dog. And from downward dog, exhale yourself into plank. Hold the plank. Strengthen those arms. Pull that belly button and spine towards each other. And then let's do knees, chest, and chin to the floor. And then inhale. Come into, let's do low cobra here. Let's do low cobra. So everything is grounded except your head, neck, and chest. Ribs are grounded. Hands are underneath your shoulders. And we're just going to roll across the upper chest. Roll across. Give the heart, the lungs, and part of the abdominal cavity a little massage here as we roll from side to side in our cobra. And breathe. And then from here, I want you to press yourself up and come into a big puppy stretch here. Puppy stretch, not child pose. So you're not dropping down onto your heels. And again, let your hips move from side to side. Easy down, side to side. Turn your toes under and exhale back into downward facing dog. Hold your downward dog. We're going to move into three-legged dog. You stay where you are. Pull my shirt down. And get rid of the love bugs. So, three-legged dog. And we're going to start with the left leg. Lift it up behind you. Reach it, reach it, reach it. Bring that right heel toward the mat. And then bend at the knee. And turn that left hip up to the sky. And see if you can stack hip over hip. Maybe look underneath your right arm. Spot that left foot. And then on the exhale, let's come back to center. Extend that leg out. And on the exhale, let's bring that left foot all the way forward on your mat. Come into a lunge. Big breath. Fall out breath anytime you choose with that inhale and a exhale. Now make sure here in this lunge that your knee is over your ankle and that really it can't go any further. If it will, you need to slide that left foot back some. Or right foot, sorry. Left foot in front, right foot in back. Drop the right knee down, flatten the right toes out. And on the inhale, rise up into Anjali Asana. Hold, drop into that front leg. Breathe. Feel that energy, feel that strength. This is a great stretch for your hip flexors here on that right side. For the hamstring and the piriformis here on the left, and even for the adductor on the left. Breathe. Now, we're going to take the left hand and we're going to come into Jana Mudra, touching the index finger and the thumb together. And we're going to Lift that left arm up. We're going to do the same thing on the right hand, and we're going to bring that right arm toward the floor. Now imagine that someone's pulling this left arm up, pulling this right arm down toward the mat. Both palms are facing forward. Jana Mudra is a joining of the mind, body, and spirit. And then inhale, bring both arms up, back into Anjali Asana. Bring the hands down on either side of the front foot. Turn your right toes under. Lift your right knee up and bring the left foot back to meet the right foot in your downward facing dog. And we'll take the vinyasa here. So on the exhale, come into high plank. Take a nice big inhale. On the exhale, knees, chest, and chin. And on the inhale, upward dog this time. Lift your knees up off the mat. Stretch your sternum up toward your throat and your belly button down towards your pubic bone. Press your mat away. And then come back into downward facing dog and prepare to do the same series now on the right leg. So let's inhale the right leg up. As the right leg lifts, drop the left heel down. Keep the right underarm facing your mat. Bend at the knee. Turn that right hip up to the sky. Turn, turn, turn. See if you can spot your left foot or your right foot under your left arm. And then inhale back to center. Stretch that right leg out. And on an inhale, bring the right leg all the way forward. Come into your lunge. And breathe. The teacher's out of breath. Full deep breaths. It's a little humid out here. Full deep breaths. Now remember, this knee can't go past this ankle. Let's drop the left knee down. Flatten the left toes out. If you can move that knee past the ankle, slide that back leg back. And then let's come into Anjali Asana. Lifting those arms, lifting your gaze, stretching through the front of the body, smiling. I can see 3/4 moon right above my roof. Exhale. Well, no, not yet. Not yet. I forgot something. Come into Jana Mudra with the right arm reaching up. Palm faces forward. Left hand reaching down, Jana Mudra. And reach those arms in opposite directions. And inhale back into Anjali Asana. And exhale, bring the hands down. Turn the back toes under. Lift the back knee up. And this time we're going to step that back foot forward to meet the front foot. Coming into your forward fold, Uttanasana, let your head shake no and yes. Big breath in. See if you can take just a little more bend out of the knees now that we've warmed up. Make sure that all 10 toes are facing forward. Your head is hanging from your neck. No tension there. Inhale, sweep up. And take those blessings from the heavens to the heart. Bow your head, close your eyes. Observe. The purpose of yoga is to move and then observe so that we know what's going on in our bodies at all times, even when we're not practicing our classes, just knowing, just feeling things. And then let's inhale all the way up. Bring your hands to heart center. Come on down to your forward fold. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale to a forward fold. This time we're going to step back with our left foot. And we're going to come onto the side of that left foot. So we're turning it at about a 45-degree angle. Inhale, sweep up and come into your Warrior One pose. Now in your Warrior One pose, I want you to pay particular attention to that back foot. And if you're feeling like you're lifting off that little toe, I want you to press down into that little toe side of the foot. On the front leg, I want you to make sure this knee is not covering up that big toe. So you need to move that knee over toward the little toe side of the foot. That your shoulders aren't shrugged but released, that your fingers are wide. That you're pulling this left kneecap up so that the back leg straightens. Clasp your hands behind your back and open the chest. Stretch across the pectoral muscles. Stretch across the deltoids. Take a big inhale. And on the exhale, let's bow forward, bringing the upper body to the inside of that right thigh and reaching those arms up to the sky. Let your head hang from your neck in humble warrior. Inhale, rise up. Bring the arms up. And then we're going to switch off and come into Warrior Two. You may have to adjust your feet here. Warrior One is always on railroad ties. Warrior Two is on a tightrope. So your front foot, your front heel, and your back arch should be right in line with each other. But your gaze is over the front hand. We're still concentrating on pressing down into the little toe side of the back foot, pulling that back kneecap up, and keeping the front knee from splaying inward. Breathe. And we're going to take this front arm and bring it down. And we're going to take the back arm and we're going to place the elbow in the crook of that right arm. So the left arm, elbow is in the crook of the right elbow. Eagle arms. Come into eagle arms here. And then I want you to twist your body to look over the shoulder behind you. And hold that while you turn your head to look over the shoulder in front. Good stretch for your subscapularis, your sternocleidomastoid. Now we're working on the right side. And then unwind. Arms at Warrior Two. Straighten the front leg. And let's come into Exalted Warrior, bringing that right arm behind you, letting the left arm rest on the back of that right thigh. And on the exhale, let's reach out for our Trikonasana pose, triangle. Reach, and then bring the right hand down, bring the left arm up. Straighten the front leg, keep the back leg straight. This bottom arm is not supporting, your core is supporting. So you can rest that hand on your shin, on the floor, or if you have a block or a book, on a block or book, but that has to be at the little toe side of your foot. And then we're going to bend the front knee, bring that left hand down, frame the front foot. We're going to take the front foot back to meet the back foot. Come back into your downward facing dog. 3 fallout breaths. And a third. Big inhale. Exhale, bring yourself into high plank. Hold your high plank. Strong, strong pose. Strengthening your triceps, your biceps, your back, your core. Drop your knees, chest and chin. Inhale, upward dog. Press into the fronts of your feet and lift your knees. Exhale, downward facing dog. Walk your feet all the way up to meet your hands. forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Hold your forward fold, straighten your legs as much as possible. And then inhale, sweep those arms out, up and overhead. Anjali Mudra. Draw the blessings from the heavens to the hearts. Honor yourself in this Anjali Mudra, honoring the spirit within you, for practicing, for joining tonight, for taking care of your bodies, for taking care of your health. Inhale, send all that up, all that love, spread it out into the world and dive forward. And this time we are going to step back with the right foot. Remember, you're on those railroad tracks here, so the feet are slightly apart. Right, left foot closer to the left edge, right foot closer to the right edge. Knee over ankle. Sweep up to your warrior one. Soften your jaw. Smile, soften your face. Back leg straight. Concentrating on pressing the little toe side of the foot down into the mat and pulling that right kneecap up. Breathe. Bend a little more, get a little deeper. And then clasp your hands behind you. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Lift your heart space to the sky. And on an exhale, let's bend forward. Coming into humble warrior. Bring your arms up as best you can without a strap. If they only come to here, that's where they come. Be good to your body. Inhale, rise back up. Reach the arms up. And then we're going to separate the arms, rearrange the feet, come into our warrior two. Now in warrior two, be aware if you've got your shoulders shrugged and bring them down. Spread your fingers and gaze over that front hand. Big toe visible. Now the front arm is going to come down and the back arm, elbow is going to rest in the crook of the left arm. So the right elbow is in the crook of the left elbow and we're going to come into eagle arms. Now if you can't wrap your arms and get your palms together, just bring the back of your hands together. Should have told you that before. Breathe. Don't compromise your legs here. And then on an exhale, let's twist toward the back shoulder, looking over the back shoulder, and then turn your gaze to look over the front shoulder. And breathe. The only difference between the pose being too difficult and being doable is your breath. And then inhale as you unwind, coming back into warrior two, straightening the front leg, bringing that right hand down, bringing the left arm back and over. Imagine that you're trying to slide that front foot off your mat, but it's glued. So feel that engagement of the quadricep as it wraps around your femur. And then exhale, reach out. Begin to reach out as far as you can reach. And then we drop that left hand down, right arm up, and come into your Trikonasana. And then exhale. Let's bring that right hand down, bend that front knee, that left knee. Take that back front foot back to meet the back foot, back into your downward facing dog. Exhale into high plank. This is the little vinyasa. If you want to skip the vinyasa, You can skip the vinyasa and just stay in downward dog. Knees, chest, and chin. Inhale, upward dog. Lift your knees. Exhale, downward dog. Now let's walk our hands back towards our feet and stay here in Uttanasana for just a moment, letting the blood rush towards your head, stimulating the thyroid, the hypothalamus, pineal. Breathe here. And then on the inhale, bring your hands to your hips. Come to a flat back and slowly rise up. Inhale all the way up. And exhale, prayer hands to heart center. We're going to do a few little balance poses here before we come back down. So what I would like for you to do is, if you need to have a wall, I've got my handy dandy plants here so that I can grab onto them if I need them. We are going to do tree pose, and then we're going to do broken chair pose, and then I don't know what the name of the pose is, but I'll explain it to you and you'll get it. So remember, do what you can. If you have a wall handy, hold the wall to do these. So we're going to start first on the right leg. So we're going to get really, really heavy on that left leg. Left foot grounded. We're not going to let that left hip jut out. We're going to keep it in. We're going to keep the belly button even over the inner ankle on that left foot. And then we're going to find our own tree pose. Now your tree pose might be here with a kickstand, toe grounded. Your tree pose may be right here on your inner calf, or you may bring your tree pose all the way up to your inner thigh. You make that choice. We're going to bring our hands into prayer, but this time we're going to touch our fingertips, but leave our palms open and let the energy move between the hands. Find yourself a place to focus your gaze, your drishti. Engage your core. Press down into the grounded foot. Then we're going to cross that right ankle over the left thigh, and we're going to hinge forward in broken chair pose. Hinge to the point that works for you. It may be that you hinge all the way and your elbows touch your knees or foot. Now this is the tricky part. You're going to take your left hand to your right foot, hold the right foot. That's why my plant's here. Rise up. So the left leg is straight. You're holding that right foot with your left hand, and your right arm is going to go behind your back and hold on to your elbow in a bind. Yeah, that's it. I can't really see you. And I'm falling too, so if you're falling, join your teacher. And then we'll unwind. Bring that left foot down. Let's roll that right ankle out a little bit. Now let's do it all again. This time, we're going to bring the weight onto the left leg. Right leg, sorry. Right leg. Right leg is pressing down into your mat. Right foot. The core is engaged. You're going to find your version of tree, wherever that might be. Bring the fingertips together. Leave the space between the palms. Touch your thumbs to your heart center and open the chakra of love, understanding, compassion. And then cross that left ankle over the right thigh and hinge forward in broken chair. Reach down with your left hand for your right hand to your left foot, excuse me, and rise up. I did this really good earlier, guys, really good. Rise up. Then your left arm is going to wrap around the back of your waist and grasp your right elbow. And come into that bind. And then let's release down. Let's roll out that right ankle. And then let's walk to the middle of our mat. Wide feet. You can have your toes hanging off your mat. Take a nice big breath in. And on the exhale, let's come into Malasana, squat pose. Once you're down, I want you to round your back, drop your chin, and just take a moment here to strengthen the pubococcygeal muscle by drawing the floor of the pelvis up toward the belly button like an elevator. And just this pose helps to stabilize the whole pelvic floor. Now you can bring your prayer hands to heart center. Again, if you have your blocks, and this is tough for you, the blocks can go under or between your legs to help you stabilize a little bit. You can still draw that pubococcygeal muscle up and do the same thing everyone else is doing. So never fear. Use your props. Bring your prayer hands to heart center and use your outer arms to open your inner knees. Draw up through the crown of your head. And then slowly drop down and come into upward boat. Hold your upward boat. Strength for your core. Soften the shoulder, soften the jaw. And then slowly lower the feet. And let's come into bound angle. Now here you may want to get your blanket again and put your blanket under your sits bones. We're getting close to the end of the practice, so never fear, it's almost over. Now keep your heels drawn away from you. And usually in some bound angle, when we teach bound angle, we draw them as close to our groin as we can. But here I want you to keep them out just a little bit. And I want you to do this little Sufi grind. A Sufi grind is a Kundalini kind of thing. Several of the things that we have done have been taken from the Kundalini tradition of yoga. And I learned a lot of these things from my teachers from Jacksonville Beach, Dennis and Kathy Lang. They have wonderful things on YouTube if you want to tune into them. And the next time you come to the back of the circle, let's reverse it and go in the opposite direction. Just hold your feet and make these circles. They don't have to be perfect circles. You can hold your shins if you prefer. But sitting up on that blanket, on that edge, helps this to be a little more doable and doesn't make you feel like you're compressing or pressing out through the lower back. And then stop here in the center. I want you to take your arms and slide them underneath your legs. And if you can, grab onto your feet. And just allow the upper body to fall forward to your extent. This is a great lengthener for those lower spinal muscles. Breathe into that lower back body. Quadratus lumborum, erector spinae muscles. Don't go past your point. Feel an edge, but you don't feel anything but that edge. No pain. And then unwind, unwrap, and let's come onto our backs. Move your props. Come all the way down onto your back. And here we're going to come into supine pigeon pose. So I want you to cross your left ankle over your right thigh, and then lift that right foot off the ground. And you can clasp your hands behind your thigh, or if you have the reach, you can clasp your hands over the shin below your knee. Now, only clasp your hands over the shin if your shoulder blades don't come up off the ground. Now, if your chin is pointed up to the sky, point it down, drop it down like you're trying to point it toward your sternum and create that curve in the cervical spine that's appropriate. Let your right foot be relaxed. I want you to draw in until you feel that pull on that left glute along the piriformis, top of the hamstring. And on an exhale, drop that right foot down. Keep your left leg crossed over. Open your arms into a T. Take your inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to drop that right knee down and we're going to bring that left foot to the ground. So that left knee is still pointing up at the sky. And you're getting a little pull now along your abductor and some at your adductor as well. And then inhale, let's come back to center. And uncross. Bring that left foot down. Cross your right ankle over, your right foot, ankle over your left thigh. Take a big inhale. And on an exhale, pick the left foot up and find your holding spots. Keep that chin tip down, back of the neck long, drawing that left knee in. Now, if you feel like you're rolling over towards that right side, I want you to roll back to center because that's an easy thing to do, is to droop over here and then you don't get quite the stretch that you would get if you stayed centered here on your back. You should feel the weight on the lower left side of your back. And keep drawing that knee in to keep an edge going. And then slowly drop that left foot down. Open the arms into a T. Take your inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to bring that left knee down, right foot onto the floor, right knee pointed straight up to the sky. And just breathe. You may feel this a little stronger on one side than the other because our bodies are not symmetrical. We do not have the same insertions to our bones. We do not have the same muscle strength. So we're not going to find symmetry from one side to the next. Inhale, let's come back to center. Uncross both legs and bring both knees into the chest. Wrap your arms around your shins and rock side to side. Take both feet up to the sky. Clasp your hands behind your thighs and just hold for a moment in this modified inversion, allowing the blood to flow down out of our extremities. Allow the lymph to flow out of our legs. Breathe, relax, feel, watch, and allow. Bring your arms down by your sides. And very slowly, as you flex your feet, lower them down. When you feel a strain in your lower back or your neck, bend your knees to bring them down to the ground. Once the heels are all the way grounded, spread your heels apart. Let your heels rest on the outside edges of your mat. Let your arms slide slightly away from your side body and then relax everything. Keep your chin tipped down. Take a deep, full breath in and release with a fall-out breath. You can do better than that. Take a deep breath in And relax with a fallout breath. Close your eyes. Be the observer of the sensations inside your body. Comfortable, relaxed. As you rest here in your Shavasana, I want to read a little story to you. And this story has something to do with communication. We are in the age of communication. And some of the communication that you see is not always the best communication. Perhaps we need to learn to communicate a little better with people. And so this story is called The Three Gates of Speech, and we're being serenaded by the birds. The Three Gates of Speech. So before you speak, let your words pass through three gates. Is what you're about to say kind? Is what you're about to say true? Is what you're about to say necessary? So are you speaking kindly? Are you speaking truthfully? Is what you say even necessary to say? And there are some that think there's a fourth gate. And the fourth gate is, does what you're about to say improve on the silence? Does it uplift the moment that you're in? So before you choose to say something, is it kind? Is it true? Is it necessary? And does it improve on the silence? Is it uplifting? And take another few moments. Honor yourself for joining tonight. I honor you for joining tonight. And then begin to deepen your breath. Feeling your heart, feeling the pulse beats in your palms. And then drawing your knees into your chest. Rolling over onto your left side, your heart side. And then slowly coming back up to seated and joining me. Softly, keeping your eyes focused or softly closed. Bring your Anjali Mudra hands to heart center. May there be peace in our lives, peace in our world, peace in our universe, and health and wellness for everyone. Om Shanti, Shalom, and peace, my friends. Namaste.